You already set up YouTube? I mean Facebook?
Concert.
No, I didn't close. I just ain't seeing. Okay, I see it now.
Title of today's class.
Title of today's class is There is and will only be Slack. There has always on Slack. Let me just read it.
I'll tell you. Yeah, I don't have it no more. Slide over to your right a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah, no, a little, too much. Yeah, right there's good. You're perfect.
Okay.
Just check on
It
YouTube.
has always been and will forever be one truth, one body, I.S.U.P.K. Well, for help.
Nah, you are good mental water for y'all.
One truth, one body, I.S.U.P.K.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
All right, look it up now.
All right, good to go. All right, yeah, that's it. Wrap it up. All right.
We are I.S.U.P.K. under Commander General YAHANNA, throughout 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, teaching Blacks, Hispanics, Native American Indians that we are the real Jews. And today we're going to go over a concept that's very difficult to understand, not because it's brain surgery, but because pride won't let most understand it. There's not a religion on the earth. There's not a group of people on the earth. There's not a nationality on the earth who do not believe that they are in the truth. You got Christianity, there's different sets of Christianity, and each one will tell you that they are in the truth and that they are going to heaven. That's why they pay all those tithes. That's why they lived their entire lives going to church every Sunday and worshiping whatever the preacher puts in front of them. And there's not a fake Israelite group that won't tell you that they are in the truth. It's to them it's asinine that they will not be in the truth. It's an insult that you would tell them that they're not in the truth, especially when they say, well, are we not all Israel?
Right.
So it's a very hard concept, and it's damn near like you have to take somebody to, what do you call that when somebody's an alcoholic?
Intervention.
Intervention. You damn near have to have an intervention and tell somebody, look, you're not in the truth. And it's not going to sit well with them. And you have to keep saying it. And that's why the UPK, we say it all the time, because it's almost like we have to get through your heads.
That should have been the title of your class. Listen, this is intervention. You are not in the truth. I think that's a lucky. I'm going to put a rank here.
And it's because this world has confused most so much and drugs most so much that you would think that everybody's in the truth if you let them tell it. You understand? Everybody's going to heaven. Everybody who's preparing to smoke the turkey tomorrow is going to heaven. And they're doing the Lord's will. They're highly favored and blessed. They're not only favored, but they're highly favored and blessed. Right? And you cannot tell them that no matter what religion, it could be Islam, it could be Christianity, it could be Buddhism, it could be, just imagine there was a brother who approached me the other day, and he said, he's a Christian. He says, have you heard about the mother God?
What the fuck is that?
I was like, the mother God? That's a new one. So I was telling him that's just another new religion that's going to further destroy Black people. You understand? But you can't. He looked at me like I was crazy, and I don't know what I'm talking about. Why? Because in his mind, he's in the truth. Right. You understand? Everybody with purple on is in the truth. Right. Everybody with fringes on their t-shirts.
Don't say it like that, because a soundbite gonna come. Say it seems like everybody is so and so. Keep saying like, cause they'll edit that little piece. See, UPK know it.
Yeah. And the funny thing about that, Cap, is whether you say or don't say it, they're gonna believe it. They're going to believe they're in the truth and will fight with you. But today we're going to show in the I.S.U.P.K. history class that has never been the case. Has never been a case where everybody on earth was in the truth. Never in history. Never will it be in history until Yahawashi come and forces everybody to be in the truth. You understand? With foot on their necks. That's how they're gonna be in the truth. That's how Thanksgiving will never be celebrated again. That's how when Christmas will never be celebrated again. When the Lord establishes his kingdom, which he's doing now, and it will not be allowed. You understand? But for now, everybody's in the truth and the stripper. They're in the truth and the drug dealer.
Right.
They're in the truth and the drug addict.
Right.
They're in the truth and celebrating pagan holidays while being in the truth in their minds. But we're going to find out. Give me Amos chapter 3, verse 3. And this is the first thing you have to understand when it comes to the truth. It's a very difficult concept. Most people are offended just hearing these words right now. And Lord be with them. You know, people hear what I'm saying right now, they're turning it off. They getting off this live, you know, because they don't like to hear that they're not in the truth. That's why I say it's like an intervention, because you sit a drug addict down and say, hey, you are a drug addict. He or she's gonna get up and walk out the room immediately. They don't want to hear that unless they have the courage to change.
Mm-hmm.
You know, unless they want to change, unless they want to be better, right? But most do not want to be better because their version of the truth allows them to do whatever filth that they're doing now. That's why they love it so much. They could be in the truth and doing Thanksgiving this weekend or tomorrow. You understand?
Okay.
So now when you say you're not in the truth, what does it mean? That means that they're gonna have to change. That's the nightmare right there. That's where the fight is. To tell somebody you're not in the truth is telling them you're gonna have to change. That's what it translates through in the back of their minds.
Right.
And they don't want to change. So in order to stay the same, they must be in the truth right now. But this is what the Lord said, Amos chapter 3, verse 3.
Amos chapter 3, verse 3. Can two walk together except they be agreed?
And this is the Lord speaking right. He says, what? Read again.
Can two walk together except they be agreed?
Meaning two cannot walk together or go in the same path unless they agree.
Right.
You know, a lot of people like to believe that we could agree to disagree and still be in the truth. There's no such thing.
Right.
The truth is one way. You understand? One way, one west. That's it. Right. It doesn't change. It doesn't bend. You conform to it. It does not conform to you.
Right.
It does not go the way you want it to go. It's going to be what it's going to be. And it's our job to shed ourselves of the world. You understand? We have to shed ourselves of, that's why in the school, anybody coming to school, the first thing you do is get in all black. Shed yourself of the world. You understand? Before you could enter these ranks.
Right.
You understand? Like it's damn near funeral. You understand? You have to die, man. You have to die and leave that man behind and become a new person, a new creature. That's why you get a new name. That's why you don't associate yourself with the person that you used to be. Right. That's when you're in the truth. Until you do that, you cannot just put fringes on the bottom of your shirt, brother, and say you're in the. That's why you're putting fringes on the bottom of your shirt and still saying, like, I'll never forget one brother. He wanted to battle about the scriptures, right? And then his very next post is, I've been clean 2 weeks. I've been clean 2 weeks. Yeah, he's battling about the scriptures. And guess what he's doing now? Right back to smoking. Right. You was never in the truth. Right. Right. And what happens again is you let brothers and sisters will let their pride deceive them. You know, your pride is a hell of a thing because it'll deceive you because you don't want to humble yourself and admit that you're not in the truth. So what do? You go and create your own truth. You go in and create whatever it is. Like you learn what you can online or from the brothers, right. Whatever you can, you learn and you go and build on that and start your own fake group. You know, and by doing so, go ahead and destroy many. Right. But that's not the case with the Lord. What did the Lord say? Amos chapter 3, verse 3.
Can two walk together except they be agreed?
Can two walk together except they be agreed? Keep reading.
Will a lion roar in the forest when he have no prey.
All right, that's that. Give me Numbers chapter 16. We're gonna go into a very important event in history in Numbers chapter 16, where Moses, the man who the Lord chose, you understand, the man who, and that's another thing too. The Lord, nobody has as a Christian love to say, a personal relationship with the Lord. There's no such thing. You cannot have a personal, yes, you sit on the couch.
Right.
You cannot have a personal relationship with the Lord. The Lord does not know you. If you want to serve the Lord, you're going to find the man the Lord has given the authority to rule over you. That's what you're going to do. And you're going to follow that man. You understand? That's how it is. And again, because most people have so much pride that you can't humble yourself and follow another man, especially a black man.
Right.
Especially a black man. You can't never, I don't know how you're going to do when your house shot come back and you see that he's a black man. I don't know how people are going to be able to digest that. Because to follow a black man is like, you know, why should anybody do that?
Right.
You understand? But the Lord decides who leads. So Numbers chapter 16, right? We're going to go ahead. Walter, you're going to start me in verse 1. And we're going to find out who the Lord has chosen and other people who to decide that they are in the truth also. And we're going to see how the Lord handles it. Go ahead and read verse 1 for me, please.
Numbers chapter 16, verse 1. Now, Korah, the son of
To give you a little history, this is Israel coming out of Egypt. This is Israel coming out of Egypt, and the Lord has established Moses as the leader of Israel. You understand? Just like, and the point I want you to get from this is you have to understand that today the Lord has established somebody as a leader.
Right.
You understand? And all this, the sea of so-called truths that there is, if you really want to serve the Lord, you have to find that leader.
Right.
You understand? You're going to have to find that leader. And the first step to find that leader is to get rid of your lust that you're in the truth. Yes, that is a demon. That is a demon on you, because the minute that you smell that turkey, you're going to go eat it. That's going to be the sign that you're not in the truth. The minute some brother's wife gives you the number, you're calling it. That's the proof you're not in the truth. You understand? You never shed yourself of the world, right? So Moses was the man who the Lord has established as his representative on the earth.
Right.
You understand? In fact, let me show you how much Moses was the Lord's representative on the earth. Before we go there, Awaja, give me give me Exodus chapter 4 first. Hold where you at though, but give me Exodus chapter 4.
Okay.
Right? And we're gonna go to let me hear verse 14.
14.
Exodus chapter 4, verse 14.
Exodus chapter 4, verse 14. And the anger of the Lord was kindled against Moses.
This is Moses speaking to the Lord, right? And the Lord sent him giving him orders to go on an assignment. And Moses is hesitant because of an issue. And the Lord got angry with Moses. Keep reading.
Come. And he said, is not Aaron the Levite thy brother?
Now the Lord is pointing out Aaron, right, as which is an Israelite, which is of the tribe of Levite, the brother of Moses, right? Go ahead.
Come. I know that he can speak well, and also, behold, he cometh forth to meet thee.
So Aaron was on his way to meet Moses, right? Now listen closely to what the Lord had to say about Moses and Aaron's relationship. Read.
And when he seeth thee, he will be glad in his heart.
Go ahead.
And thou shalt speak unto him, and put words in his mouth.
And do what?
And put words in his mouth.
Now, this part is very important to understand for all those who have a personal relationship with God. Aaron, right, who was a priest, a certified priest,
right?
His words were not coming straight from God. Who's putting words in his mouth? Read again, that last part.
Okay. And put words in his mouth.
Moses would be putting words in Aaron's mouth. So Aaron did not have a personal relationship with God. You understand? His connection to the Lord was who? Through who? Who was Aaron's connection to the Lord? Go ahead, bro.
Moses.
That's right. You understand? Keep reading.
Come. And I will be with thy mouth.
Go ahead.
And with his mouth, and will teach you what ye shall do.
Go ahead.
16. And he shall be thy spokesman unto the people.
He shall be what?
Thy spokesman.
So he's going to speak for Moses. You understand? He'll be Moses' spokesman. So when Moses has to speak, has something to say to people, he'll speak for Moses. Keep reading.
Come. And he shall be, even he shall be to thee instead of a mouth.
Even he shall be to thee instead of a mouth. Awawaja. What does that mean? Even he shall be unto thee instead of a mouth.
Meaning Aaron is just he speaks for him.
He speaks for him. So instead of using your own mouth, he will be your mouth.
Okay.
He will be unto thee instead of a mouth. Right? So he'll be your voice, basically, right? Go ahead.
So like I said, it's just because Moses had the stuttering problem.
I don't want to say stuttering. It doesn't say stuttering there, right? But it was an issue, and it was an issue. You understand?
Oh, okay.
Right? But Moses didn't want to speak, basically, right?
Okay.
So instead of you speaking, he's going to speak for you. Now, very important to understand this part. Just because Moses had an issue and Aaron was able to speak does not mean that the Lord will stop dealing with Moses and deal with Aaron now.
Right.
Nor did it mean that, you know what, I will deal with both of you. That was not the case. Right? He shall be unto thee instead of a mouth, meaning that he'll speak for you. He'll assist you there, right? Keep reading.
Okay. And thou shalt be to him instead of God.
Read that again.
And thou shalt be to him instead of God.
He shall be unto you instead of a mouth, and you shall be unto him instead of
God.
Let's break that part down. And this is rank, brother. This is what rank is. You understand? If you understand this, you understand rank.
So, like you was explaining before, like the Christians said, God speaks personally to them, which is a lie. And Aaron is speaking for Moses.
Right?
Because that's the order that he was given.
Okay. But you will be to him instead of God. Meaning what?
God will not personally deal with him.
You got it. You understand?
Okay.
The Lord is not dealing with Aaron personally on a personal level. Doesn't have a personal relationship with Aaron. You will be on, meaning that your connection to the Lord is Moses.
Right.
If you want to inquire of the Lord, you inquire of who? Moses.
Right.
You understand? And the sooner blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians understand this, they'll understand rank, and we can move on.
Right.
You understand? We can move on from this hell that we're living in. Once you understand that there is a head. There is a head. You understand? And everybody follows that head. The Lord establishes that head.
Right.
You understand what I mean? So read that again to get in everybody's head.
Okay. And he shall be thy spokesman unto the people, and he shall be, even he shall be to thee instead of a mouth, and thou shalt be to him instead of God.
Thou shalt be to him instead of God. Look at that. You understand? But imagine that concept. This is the Lord speaking. Imagine this concept in the Christian church. They'll never accept it.
Right.
Because everybody wants, it sounds better, right? It sounds better that I have a personal relationship with God.
Right.
You understand? It sounds better because now there's nobody over me to check me.
Right.
There's nobody who is unto me instead of God. You understand? Because God is what? Not here. So it's easy to have a personal issue.
Right.
You understand what I mean? He's not here to check you.
Right.
He's not here to tell you, no, you can't do this. No, you can't be a homosexual. No, you can't. No, what's the popular one? The weed comes from the ground, the earth. He's not here to tell you no, but he has established a man to tell you no. But you don't want to just follow that man. So in order not to follow that man, what do you have to have? A personal relationship with God.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? That's the only way around the laws. That's the only way around the statutes and commandments. A personal relationship with God.
Right.
There's no mediator between us. Well, Aaron can say that. Aaron had somebody over him.
Right.
You understand? And that person over him was, to him, a God instead of the Lord. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Meaning that was his way to the truth. Right? If you want to be in the truth, he had to follow Moses. He couldn't just, and he couldn't just establish his own truth, right? Because then he wouldn't be in the truth. Because the Lord was onto him instead of, Moses was onto him instead of God. Now take me back.
And if I could, the thing with Moses is a good point, because he did have a speech problem. It said, he had a stammering lips or something like that, I believe. But what you said was right, is that wasn't why he wasn't speaking. He didn't of himself want to speak.
Right.
And the Lord got angry with him. So that's a lesson in, sometimes you doubt yourself, but the Lord called you to speak, which means you could speak. You know what I mean? And that's why the Lord get angry with him. He's like, yo, I made your mouth.
Right.
Go do the job. But he didn't have it in himself to go do it because of whatever he thought was his problem. And that be brothers' problems a whole lot. They might be struggling with something or have an affliction and think they can't be useful when it's the opposite.
Right.
Like you come in here with the affliction and be useful, the Lord get a whole ton of glory off of this shit.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's a heavy point, because I was thinking on that same thought the other night when I was reading the scripture. There's a scripture, of course, a very popular scripture that says, fear the Lord. You understand? Anytime there's something that you're more afraid of than him, it's a problem.
Right.
Yep.
If you're more afraid of that handicap that you think you have than the orders he gave you, it's a problem. You know what I'm saying? It says this scripture says the Lord is he's a jealous power. Meaning that you can't divide the fear or the respect,
Right.
And that's a heavy point. Throw out for that cat.
No swear.
Now take me to where we asked for before, right?
Okay.
Call it and read it, please.
Okay. Numbers chapter 16, verse 1. Now, Korah, the son of Izhar, the son of Kohath, the son of Levi.
The son of who?
Levi.
This was a straight up Israelite, brother. You understand? This is not a heathen. This is the son of who?
Levi.
This is the son of Levi. This is a Levite. This is a brother who is an Israelite. Just to make it clear. And I'm stressing that part for a reason. You understand? He is a certified Israelite. He knew who he was. He didn't go into captivity and lost his identity. He knew who he was. He wore fringes. You understand? He had a beard.
Right.
He kept the commandments, right?
Right.
He followed the orders, right? And he came up out of Egypt following Moses and learned under Moses with everybody else, right? So he's an Israelite.
Right.
Keep reading.
Okay. And Dathan and Abiram,
Go ahead.
the son of Eliab.
Yeah, more Israelites. This is more Israelites, right? Go ahead.
And On, the son of Peleth, sons of Reuben, took men.
Take your time, bro.
And they rose up before Moses.
Now, this group of Israelites, right? They just gave you their heritage. They gave you their bloodline. This is no confusion.
Right.
You understand? These are Israelites. They what?
Took men. And they rose up before Moses.
They took men, right? Meaning they took who? Other Israelites.
Okay.
You understand? They took other Israelites and they rose up against Moses. Go ahead.
With certain of the children of Israel.
With certain of the children of Israel. These are all Israelites. Go ahead.
250 princes of the assembly. Famous in the congregation, men of renown.
Powerful men, rich men, famous men.
Right.
Men of renown. You understand? That's what it means. Renown means famous,
right.
Powerful. You understand? These are all brothers who came up against Moses.
Right.
Right? And this is what they had to say. Go ahead.
Okay. And they gathered themselves together against Moses and against Aaron. And they said unto them.
This part is very important. You understand? This part is very important for every fake Israelite group. who think they could just start their own camp, start their own school. For every Christian, for any religion you can think about, who thinks they're in the truth, this is the same spirit. This is the same demon that was back then. This is what they have to say. Go ahead.
Come. Ye take too much upon you, seeing all the congregation are holy.
Read it again.
Ye take too much upon you, seeing all the congregation are holy.
There's a group of brothers who came up against Moses and say, ye take too much upon you, seeing all the congregation are holy. What are they saying here? I'll watch it.
Slack yourself, I may. Are they saying that Moses and Aaron in their time, like we say right now, you're doing too much? Like
you're on it, right? We're gonna read it again, and then read the next verse. You're gonna understand a little bit better.
Come. And they gathered themselves together against Moses and against Aaron, and said unto them, ye take too much upon you, seeing all the congregation are holy.
You take too much upon you, seeing that all the congregation are holy. What are they accusing Moses of? They're accusing him of saying that only he is holy. Translation, only he is in the truth.
Right.
You take too much over yourself, seeing that all the congregation are holy. Right? Keep reading.
Come. Every one of them.
Every one of them, every individual. Go ahead.
And the Lord is among them.
And the Lord is amongst them. You understand? The Lord is amongst them. Translation, we're all Israelites.
Right.
We're all chosen people. What makes you in the truth and I'm not?
Right.
You understand that? How are you in the truth and I'm not? When we're all Israelites.
Right.
You take too much upon yourself. Man, you raising yourself up above us, man. You understand? When we are all holy, we're all servants of the Lord. That's the spirit of any fake Israelite group.
Right.
You understand? To look at somebody who taught you the truth. You understand? Who you wouldn't even know who you were if it wasn't for them.
Right.
At least these people here, they knew who they were. These Israelites today, they won't even know who they were if it wasn't for the I.S.U.P.K. hitting the streets in 1969.
Right.
And they turn around and say, we're all in the truth. You take too much upon yourself. You understand? We all equal. The blood of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob flow through all our veins.
Right.
You understand? And this is going to be settled right here. And what we're going to learn here is that the same way, because it's the same judge, you understand? It's the same judge that's going to judge this. And it's the same judge today. So it's going to be settled the same way. And what everybody has to understand is that the judgment that's coming here can happen to you. You understand? It can happen to you. Don't think it's an innocent thing where, I'm a Israelite, and I'm going to serve the way I serve because we're all Israelites. You're going to find out what the Lord thinks about that. Because the Lord established somebody to lead over you or rule over you. Right? He did that for Moses. Now, again, today, who is in that seat? You understand? If you're not willing to find out who's in that seat, you're going to fall into the same trap Korah and his men fell into. Right? Keep reading.
Come. Wherefore, then lift ye up yourselves above the congregation.
Why do you lift yourself up above the congregation? Wherefore? Mean why? Right? Do you lift yourself there? Who are they speaking to? Moses. Why do you lift yourself up above? Imagine, and you know the audacity. And this is why. This is a man who they seen bring him out of captivity.
Right.
They seen the Lord work through him. The man split the sea. They seen that. They're the same generation. They're the same people who watched as they were cowering and saying, oh, we're going to die for sure when the Egyptians were coming in on them.
Right.
Lord used him to split the sea. They all saw that. This shows you again the pride, how big the pride, how heavy the pride is of Israelites. Because if they could see that and turn around and say to Moses, wherefore dost thou raise thyself above us? That should show you how arrogant these people are. And it's the same people here today. It's the same spirit. So when you sit down, like I used to sit down and say, how could people not be flooded to the I.S.U.P.K?
Right.
When I read this, I understand why. You understand? Because how could you flee into the I.S.U.P.K when they're Israelites and the black woman is gone? They're Israelites and the wheat comes from the dirt.
Right.
You understand? They're Israelites and it's okay to have heathen women. You understand? So it's kind of like when you have a lust You know, that's really a demon. You understand? And it's that demon is going to walk you through whatever you have to do to satisfy both wanting to be in the truth and fulfilling the lust. And there's going to be a compromise there. But as we said in the beginning of the class, the truth has no compromise. The truth has no compromise. You had a question, brother. Go ahead.
So if I may, so they're not respecting that Moses was chosen by the Most High to lead.
No. And by not respecting that Moses was chosen by the Most High, who are they not respecting?
The Most High.
That's it. That's it. That's why there's a scripture that says, it is not you they're against, it's me.
Mm-hmm.
That's what the Lord said. That's said in the Bible. You know what I'm saying? Because when they think they're coming up against the I.S.U.P.K, for example, they think they're attacking us.
Right.
They're attacking me. Not nobody. You know what I'm saying? Right. The Lord established the school.
Right.
You understand? Whoever comes into the school is under the Lord. The Lord put somebody ahead in charge of the school, which is Commander YAHANNA right now. That is like as Moses was to Aaron.
Right.
You understand? If you say you're not following these ranks and go and start your own school, you're coming up against the Lord, not the school. That's why they fell. That's why they can't even, they go to have some kind of unity banquet, whatever you call it.
Right.
And they're fighting.
Right. I was just about to.
I looked at it, I was like, good night.
They were scrapping.
And both sides explain their sides and calling each other out their names now, you know?
Yeah.
Because again, and from the scripture we opened up with, how can two walk together unless they be in agreement? It's such a foolish thing for two who are not in agreement to walk together. Because the first thing you're going to do is debate and fight.
Right.
Because why? I'm in the truth and you're not. And from your perspective, I'm in the truth and you're not.
Right.
You understand? So that's what it was. So read it one more time for me. Please.
I answered, okay, if I could.
Come,
what you was just bringing out there about if they're rejecting you, they're rejecting the Lord. Why you get mad? Right. Why you start fighting? Because he called you a name. So if you come in on behalf of the Lord and somebody disrespecting you, it's the Lord they're disrespecting, right? If you really representing the Lord.
Right.
What you and your feelings over?
Come. Because
you're not, it's there for the Lord. You're there for your own glory.
Right.
And that nigga embarrass you. And you say, hold up. Give me the powder. Give me the powder. Let me slap the smack out of him. And from what I heard, fled the state.
Good night.
I want to let me teach you class.
Good night.
Listen, I heard he had a flight, but he got in an Avis and drove and fled.
Right.
Because you're not standing for the Lord.
Right.
You ain't standing for the Lord at all.
And because you're not standing for the Lord, sir, you end up punching your brother in the face.
Yeah, man.
Over words.
Over words. Shaming the whole work of the Lord.
Right.
Yeah, man.
And that's exactly what's going to happen every time. Why? Because it's a simple concept. The Lord's Spirit is not there.
Right? That's right. That's absolutely right.
You understand? In their minds, they're thinking, wherever two or three are gathered. That's what they think in their mind. Right. Well, if you was thinking that in your mind, just notice after that happened, you know, it don't matter if there's 1,000 of you there. The Lord's Spirit is not there.
Right. And if I could, so like I don't want to interrupt you, but that scripture is if two or three are gathered in my name, they was there for his name.
Right.
Because his name got disrespected.
Right.
And he's almighty, Sakari, gorilla, Hebrew. Nobody could disrespect me.
Right.
They're not there. They're not unity camp in the name of the Most High.
Right.
They're unity camp in the name of Sakari and gorilla Hebrew. Hoo ha ha.
Okay, ever since I've been hearing about these unity camps, whatever they call themselves, right? To me, it's all attack on the Most High.
Mm.
You understand? We always look at Christianity as just an attack. That isn't an outright attack on the Most High, right? Because it's defying the order the Lord has set. You understand? Like in the scripture we just read here, it's reading names of men. These are different men who they're not necessarily good friends, but the only reason they're coming together is to come up against Moses. Mm-hmm. That's their unity right there. Right. Those brothers who had that issue over there, Their unity is against the ISUPK. Because we say it's only one truth. They come together and say, look at all of us. That's the purpose of the unity. You understand? And they found out the Lord's not with them. You understand? And it's clear for us to understand that, but their pride won't let them understand that. Their pride won't let them understand that. You understand what I mean? Okay. Where were we at? Call and read it again.
Numbers chapter 16, verse 3. And they gathered themselves together against Moses and against Aaron, and said unto them, Ye take too much upon you.
You take too much upon you. Go ahead.
Seeing all the congregation are holy, every one of them, and the Lord is among them.
The Lord is among them. They thought the Lord was among them in that unity camp.
Right.
We're all Israelites. We all have those fringes on our t-shirts.
Right.
You understand? Why do you take so much upon yourself, seeing that all the congregation is holy? You understand? Seeing that all the congregation is holy. Because they do not want to fall under the man that the Lord has put above them. That's all it is. You understand? Keep reading.
Okay. Every one of them, and the Lord is among them.
Imagine that too. Every one of them. I mean, that's not one person in this group here that the Lord's not with. Every one of them.
Oh, if I could have, they ain't one person to say, yo, what y'all doing wrong.
Right.
Like not one. Now remember, he done marched them out of Egypt. Not one person say, yo, y'all forget, I ain't with this.
Right.
That there, that's a level of, nigga, none of y'all grateful? None of y'all. Okay.
And that's what happens amongst Israel. You understand? That's why, sidebar, that's why the scripture says the Lord is going to rule with an iron rod.
Right.
You understand? Because that's what it's going to take to get these people in place. I mean, that's what it's going to take, because they're going to try to find a way to climb up, and do their own thing. Once the lust starts coming up in them, they're going to come up with every type of religion unless they're being ruled over with an iron rod.
Right.
You know, so that's why the Lord didn't call a choir up. He called the military.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He didn't ask for no choir. He didn't ask for no pulpit and long suits, those Steve Harvey suits. He didn't ask for none of that. He asked for rough and tough brothers, man, because that's who's going to have to keep these people in line for their own good, not to hurt them. By the way, don't think anybody's. We hope anything bad happens to anybody, but for your own good, you have to be restrained. You have to be kept in order. You understand? And that's what the Lord's calling men of who could keep you in order, right? Because if not, this is what you're gonna say. Keep reading.
Okay. Wherefore, then lift ye up yourselves above the congregation of the Lord.
Why do you lift yourself up above the congregation of the Lord? Why do you say the I.S.U.P.K is the home of the truth? Why do you say if it's not of Commander YAHANNA, it is not of the Lord? Right. How dare you say that when we are all Israelites? That's the concept. That's the mindset they have. Right. Because they don't know the Lord and how he works. You understand? When you study the scriptures and you look at I.S.U.P.K, it all makes sense. It all makes sense. You understand? Because the Lord does not change. If the Lord had Moses back then, who does he have today? That's what you have to ask yourself. You know what I mean? Okay. Who does he have today? Is it Commander YAHANNA, or is it Benjamin Yahudi? And every Israelite out there. You know what I mean? Every unity camp out there.
Is it the gorilla?
Or the gorilla.
Is it King Kong?
I mean, that is crazy. You know what I'm saying? And you have to completely be a fool to go and do your own thing. Let me tell you something too. These brothers know where the truth is at. Right. They know exactly that's the dangerous part. They know exactly where the truth is at. They just don't want it. They have some lust out there that they're following. You understand? And to come in here, they know what they gotta do. What they gotta do, El Roger? You gotta get all black. All black. And shed themselves of the world.
That's right.
Close your mouth and take orders.
That's right.
And that is a demon. There's a demon in the back of their mind saying, you don't gotta do that, brother.
Right.
You know something. You could read, you could study, you could understand, you could teach.
You don't have to follow.
You don't have to follow.
Raise my hand. Salak. I ain't your class tonight. Salak. Yeah.
You don't gotta follow anybody. They're all men just like you.
Right.
Why do they raise themselves up above the congregation of the Lord? That demon comes right back.
Right.
You understand? And that's the danger of that of being self-taught like they think they are. When they're watching all the classes and then taking what they like out of it, and going and starting their own schools, fake schools that were not established by the Lord, schools that are not authorized. Again, if you're not in the I.S.U.P.K under Command YAHANNA, you're not in the truth.
Right.
You understand? We got to have an intervention today and you have to sit down and hear it, and you have to hear it enough to the point where, listen, hear the words, you're not in the truth, and then look at your life. It'll click. Eventually it's going to click.
Right. You
understand? As you're sitting there, you hear you're not in the truth, look over at that ashtray. It's going to click. But you have to be honest with yourself. You got to be honest with yourself. Don't think it's a weakness, and you're going to get over it any minute now, right, and then the Lord's going to be cool. No, that's not how it works.
Listen, he going to fight you next to them.
Oh, God.
See that Levite from DC, fuck him.
That's how it is. You have to. You're not in the truth, bro. You're not in the truth, sister. You're not. No, you're not established. You understand? The Lord chose who should be in the truth.
Right.
The Lord chose who should lead. And if you want to be in the truth, it's better. And the sad part about it is the saddest part. You can be in the truth. The Lord wants you in the truth. That's the sad part. All you gotta do is follow who He puts in charge. That's all He asks.
Right.
Stop following yourself. Stop following your lust. Stop following your woman, and follow who He put in charge. And you're in the truth. Bam, easy.
Right.
You understand? What did the Lord say to Cain? If you will stop doing bad and start doing right, will there not be a reward? You understand? Will there not be a reward? Meaning the Lord is willing to reward you if you repent and turn to doing good and follow the man who He put in charge.
Right.
He never said, He's not saying to come follow Him. You can't follow Him. He's not a man like you, but He put somebody in charge of you. Right? And that's where the fight is. And we really have to fight that demon.
Right.
You understand what I mean? A Christian has to fight that demon. Fight Big Mama, in her words, and get over all that. Forget your birthday. There's people not in the school. They're not in the school for no other reason than they can't celebrate their birthday. There's no other reason besides, I would have to give up Christmas.
Right.
You understand? It's some lame excuse behind it. And that's why they can't be in the truth. I mean, keep reading.
Okay. Verse 4. And when Moses heard it, he fell upon his face, and he spake unto Korah and unto all his company, saying, even tomorrow the Lord will show who are his and who is his holy.
Read it again. And when Moses saw this group of brothers, when he just sees this group of people he just rescued out of Israel, out of Egypt by the hand of the Lord. Not he do it.
Right.
Moses understood that he's not doing any of this. The Lord is doing it.
Right.
And the Lord is giving him the authority to do all these things. When he seen all these people come up against him, he what?
He fell upon his face.
He fell upon his face. Meaning what? If you ever want to understand what that means, think the emojis. The emoji where the man puts his hand on his face?
Right.
What does that mean when somebody replies to you like this?
It's like amazing. Like, how could they?
Shaking my head.
Right.
You understand? Shaking my head. I'm disappointing you.
Right.
You understand? He fell upon his face. Meaning like, this is not what he wants. He did not go and do all that work and battle Pharaoh. You understand? Imagine battling Pharaoh in his kingdom, in his courtyard, back and forth with him over these people. You understand? Who are slaves. And they come to you now and say, why do you raise yourself above us? We're all Israelites. You understand? He's looking at you like, you crazy. And this is not what I want for you. And the reason he fell upon his face, because you know why? Because Moses knows the Lord. And he knows the Lord's answer. Right. We're going to find out what the Lord's answer is. And he did not want it for these brothers. You understand? I'll never forget. And this when I first started to learn the truth, before I got all black, this is how I knew this was the truth. When everybody was talking about the two thirds, right?
Come on.
And Commander YAHANNA said something. Commander YAHANNA said, I know the scriptures and I know the Lord says that 2/3 are going to die. But that don't mean that we can't try.
Right.
He said that, bro. I thought about my mother. I thought about my father, my brother. I said, that's one father right there. Because this is my only shot to save him.
Right.
The brother who says, we're going to try. That's my only shot.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody who said, kill the 2/3. They're already dooming my family. You understand? But the brother who's saying, at least we could try, that's my shot.
Right.
You understand? That's what I'm following.
Right.
Why? Because my family's not in the truth, but I love them. You understand? I want them to be saved. But that brother said that, man. I was like, man, forget it. That next day, I was calling Captain Shock. What's the address? I was taking a 2-hour drive down here immediately.
Yeah.
Immediately when I heard that. You understand what I mean? And that's the type of brother Moses is. Moses is shaking his head because he knows the Lord. And he knows the answer that these brothers about to get. And they're not going to like that answer.
Mm-hmm.
That's why he dropped to his face. He's like, these brothers about to get destroyed because they're not coming up against me. They're coming up against the Lord.
Right.
You stand in front of Moses, look at Moses' face, saying, you this, you that. You can't raise it. The Moses is thinking about who's behind him and who's giving the authority and the power. That's what he's thinking about. And he's thinking, damn, you brothers really want that smoke, huh? This is not what I want for y'all. That's why he dropped to his face. You understand? Read it again. Go ahead, bro.
Is this they still in the wilderness at this point?
Right. They're fresh out of Egypt.
Yeah. He's like, shh.
They're fresh out of Egypt, man.
Israel, boy.
And when you see this, you understand Israel today.
Yeah.
When you read this, you'll understand. Like it don't make sense to you, but at the very least, you'll know there's nothing new on the sun. At the very least, right. You'll know there's nothing new. This is not new. We've done this dance before. Every Israelite group that's out there who call themselves, in the truth, we've done this dance before. This is not new. We know the steps.
Right.
You understand? And we know the outcome. That's why Commander YAHANNA is always giving the order for all camps to come into the school. All those fake camps. He's not saying, you're a fake camp, you were 2/3, you're going to die. What are you saying? Come into the school. You understand? He's giving you a chance. That's why when the Lord's judgment comes, brother, everything you get, you're going to deserve. The judgment is going to be righteous judgment. That's what you have to understand. The judgment of the Lord is righteous judgment. If it's death for you, that's what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Why? Because you have plenty of time to turn from wrong and to turn to doing right.
Right.
You have plenty of time. And the prophets are speaking in the name of the Lord. You understand? There's a brother on earth, again, just like Moses was as God unto Aaron, there's a brother on earth who is as God unto you. And I know it burns your soul to hear that because you would never think a black man could be anything more than a nigga.
Right.
You understand?
That's cool. That's cool.
But he is as God unto you, and the authority is not coming from him, it's coming from the Lord.
Right.
If you want to follow the Lord, there's only one way. One West.
Right.
You understand? There's only one way to do it. You understand? Keep reading, bro.
Come. And he spake unto Korah and unto all his company, saying, even tomorrow the Lord will show who are his and who is holy.
Go back to where he dropped to his face one more time. Read that one more time.
And when Moses heard it, he fell upon his face.
Mm-hmm.
And he spake unto Korah.
And he spoke to Korah. Korah was their leader. He was the bold one who came in. And you have to understand, they've all been thinking about this, but Korah stepped up.
Right.
You understand? To battle Moses.
Right.
And he said this to Korah. Go ahead.
And unto all his company.
And to the unity camp. Go ahead.
Saying, even tomorrow the Lord will show who are his.
Read it. Even tomorrow
the Lord will show who are his.
Who are what?
who are his.
Tomorrow the Lord's going to show who are his. Go ahead. Possessive.
And who is holy.
And who is holy. You understand? It says all the cat is holy according to you. He's going to show you who is his and who is holy. What is he saying? Who he has set apart.
Right.
Yes, they're all Israel. You understand?
Right.
But tomorrow he's going to show, what does holy mean? I just said it. Go ahead.
To be separate.
To be
separate
or set apart.
Okay.
You understand? Holy meaning this. Think of pie. Think of pizza pie or any type of pie. This slice is mine.
Right.
You understand?
Okay.
This slice here is mine. That's what it means to be holy.
Right.
It means to be separate, like you said. Right?
Okay.
So tomorrow the Lord is going to show you who is his and who is
holy.
You understand? Keep reading.
Okay. And will cause him to come near unto him.
And will what?
Cause him to come near unto him.
And those you could put that also in your and the precepts for the definition of holy. Who is his and who is holy? It's two in the same.
Okay.
You understand? And he will what?
And will cause him to come near unto him.
And will cause that person who's his and who is holy to come unto him. So Moses is basically saying what? The Lord decides who's holy.
Okay.
The Lord, like I said.
Where are you reading from?
Numbers chapter 16. What verse are we at?
Verse 5.
Verse 5.
Say it again. Just say it on the mic there.
Numbers chapter 16, verse 5. Go ahead, Roger.
Come. Even him whom he hath chosen will he cause to come near unto him.
And this is what Israelites have to understand. Read it again.
Come.
And this is and like we said from the beginning, this is amongst a congregation of Israelites. Meaning everybody there were Israelites. And the debate was, why is Moses raising himself above all of us? Are we not all Israelites? Do we not all serve the Lord? Is not the whole congregation holy? That's their argument.
Right.
And that's the same argument of all these unity groups. You understand?
Right.
Why does the UPK raise themselves above us? Are we not all Israelites? Do we not all have fringes? Are we not all wearing frankincense and myrrh?
Right.
Or not all our heads wrapped? You understand? That's what they're saying. Right? But read that last part again.
Come. Even him who he hath chosen will he cause to come near unto him.
Out of all the Israelites that were there on the scene there, even him. It doesn't say even them. Am I right or wrong, Roger? What does it say? Even
him.
Even him. Right? Go ahead.
Whom he hath chosen will he cause to come near unto him.
That's Moses' words. He said, even him, meaning that there is a person amongst us that is chosen.
Right.
We're not all chosen. We are, as a nation, chosen. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that Israelites, they're going to go and turn the words around. I'm not saying the Israelites are not chosen. The Israelites are the chosen people on the earth. But even they have somebody over them.
Right.
You understand? And the Lord chooses that person. Now, if you want to fight that, man, you fight the Lord.
Right.
You fight the Lord's arrangements. You understand? Nobody fights, the police when the police come to arrest you. The most fight you will fight when the police come to arrest you, you know what he's going to say? What's your badge number? Once you get the badge, you understand, okay, yeah, you're authorized. Right. You understand? Let me see a badge. You got a badge? Okay, you got it. You understand? Because you respect the power. You don't respect him. You respect the person who gave him the badge.
Right.
You understand? But you don't respect the UPK and who gave us the badge.
Mm.
You understand? So your problem. So if you disrespect that police officer, you're not respecting him personally. You're not telling him personally he has no authority over you. You're telling the whole government they have no authority over you. You understand? That's his power.
Okay.
It's the same thing. You understand? Moses is telling you, you're going to find out who has the badge, who has the seal, who has the authority to rule and govern over your lives. You understand? And it's not shared. It's not shared.
Right.
It's not a democracy. It's not, we're going to vote and see who should rule over us. There's no Congress there. There's no electoral college there.
Right.
None of that is there. It's only the Lord's words. That's it. That's who decides who rules over you.
Right.
The Lord's words. Whoever the Lord is with, that's who rules over you. Because if he lets you choose who's gonna rule over you, you're gonna find the biggest drug addict and say that's who should rule over us. You're gonna find the slave master and say that's who should rule over us. You're gonna pick you're gonna pick the difference between the lesser of two evils. I have to say that's who you're gonna choose. The lesser of two evils. That's who should rule over us.
That's right. And,
right, sir?
And okay, Trump, and this is not to support Trump, but Trump and them was against abortion. They was pro-life.
Right.
Trump and them give you stimulus.
Right.
Trump and them, they do, whatever. But even in their evil, they have a certain conscience when it comes to that life, right? They vote for the pedophile.
Right.
They vote for the one who wants to promote homosexuality and lesbianism and woman power. They choose him over the baby they want to have.
That's what happened. Right. Oh my God. And the sad part about it is the man who's allowing them to have abortions is the lesser of two evils because he lets you have the abortion.
Because you have the abortion.
Oh,
so it's
God.
like, it's crazy. We jammed up.
Completely, sir. It's a lot here. Completely jammed up.
And this was Salakin. This is not to say that they should have voted for Trump.
Right. Make it clear.
I'm not saying that they should have voted for Trump. Trump is
a tomorrow.
Yeah.
In the unity camp.
Trump is a dirty bastard. But shit, these Democrats, they ain't no better. Shit, I probably shouldn't have said nothing. God damn.
Oh God. Go ahead, brother. Where you at? Call it and read it.
Numbers chapter 16, verse 6.
Ooh.
This do, take you census Korah and all his company, and put fire therein.
So now Moses is saying, all right, this is how the battle is going to go. We're going to find out who the Lord is with and who he is with not.
Right.
You understand? We're going to find out who he is with, who he put in charge, and who he has not put in charge.
Right.
Right? This is what you're going to do, Korah. Go ahead.
Come. And put fire therein, and put incense in them before the Lord tomorrow. And it shall be that the man whom the Lord do choose, he shall be holy. Ye take too much upon you, ye sons of Levi.
Read it again. Now, Moses is telling the same thing he just told him. So read from top one more time. Call it and read it.
Come. Numbers chapter 16, verse 7. And put fire therein.
Verse 6.
Come. Numbers chapter 16, verse 6. This do, take you census Korah and all his company. Verse 7. And put fire therein.
Go ahead.
And put incense in them before the Lord tomorrow.
Go ahead.
And it shall be that the man whom the Lord do choose, he shall be holy.
Go ahead.
Ye take too much upon you, ye sons of Levi.
You take too much upon you. Meaning you are stepping out of place now. That's what Moses is telling them.
Right.
You're falling out of place. You're off. You understand? You're off. You take too much upon you. Meaning what? You are putting yourself in a position the Lord never put you in.
Right.
That's what it means to take too much upon you. And that's what every fake Israelite group, every Christian, every Muslim has done. They've taken too much upon themselves, meaning you're no longer listening to the Lord, you're listening to your own lust.
Right.
You're doing whatever the hell you want to do. You understand? You're defying the man the Lord has put over you. That's what you're doing. Right? Keep reading.
Come. Verse 8. And Moses said unto Korah, Hear, I pray you, ye sons of Levi, seemeth it but a small thing unto you.
This part is very heavy. Does it seem like a small thing unto you? Go ahead.
Come. Seemeth it but a small thing unto you, that the God of Israel hath separated you from the congregation of Israel.
Read it again.
Come. Seemeth it but a small thing unto you, that the God of Israel.
Why is the Lord saying this to Korah? Because Korah is what? What's Korah's tribe?
Levi.
He's a Levite. And what did the Lord do? He has given the Levites a special office.
Right.
You understand what I mean?
Okay.
He's given the Levites a special office. That's why he said, Moses said unto Korah, Here I pray ye son of Levi. meaning from your bloodline, you had a special office. That's why I said, is it a small thing to you that the Lord has given you this special office based on who your father was? Right? Keep reading.
I will come. Seemeth it but a small thing unto you that the God of Israel has separated you from the congregation of Israel.
Has separated, meaning has given you a special office. Right? Is it a small thing to you that you have this privilege? Right? Go ahead.
I will come. To bring you near to himself to do the service of the tabernacle of the Lord.
To do what?
To do the service.
To bring you
near to himself.
To bring you near to himself. Because at that time, the Levites had a special office. You understand? They had a special assignment that they had to do for the Lord specifically.
Right.
He didn't even appreciate that. That seat was not enough for him. He wanted Moses' seat. A seat that's not available to him.
That's right.
You understand? In other words, why don't you just play a role? Why don't you just do your job? You understand? Why don't you just follow the orders? You have a special office, but that's not enough for you. You want to do what you want to do.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? And I guarantee you, Moses was so strict on the law, it was preventing them from doing a lot. If he was letting them do what they wanted, it would be no issue.
Mm-hmm.
They would love Moses,
right,
because they would be able to do whatever they want to do. You understand? The same thing with today's fake camps. If they were saying in here you could molest children, you see more people in here.
Mm-hmm.
If they were saying you could date white women, you look around and see more people in here. If they were saying you could be a drug addict, you could weed is of the earth. If you were standing in here, you'd have a mega church. Everybody being here with the t-shirts and fringes saying, UPK is the truth.
Mm-hmm.
And now they would say this, UPK.
They be puffing UPK. U-P-K. Now the kids.
You understand? Because they'd be allowed to do what they want.
Right,
But
yeah.
because it's so strict in here and you can't do what you want now, why do you raise yourself up above the congregation of the Lord? Are we not all holy?
Right.
Now that debate has to happen.
right.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're establishing authority over me now. And with that authority, I can't do what I want to do. That's their problem.
Right.
You understand? And he had an office. He had a special seat. He had authority. But it was not enough because he couldn't let him do what he wanted to do.
Right.
You understand? Come on.
What's so heavy, but we're bringing out too is at first Moses didn't even want the seat.
Right. Come on.
And he didn't want it, and it pissed the Lord off because the Lord wanted him to do the job.
Right. Come on.
That's so the Lord really wanted him to do the job, that's it's like a father and damn son, I want you to do this.
Right.
And then another one coming, no, this ain't for you.
Right.
This ain't for you. And now you started to disrespect who the father leave in charge. Now I had to break you.
Come.
Now I got to break you now.
Come. That's heavy. Because guess what? When the Lord was choosing Moses, guess who was there? Korah. Not there with them, but on earth.
Right.
He could have said, this man wants to do it. I'm going to choose him.
Right.
The Lord found the man who's capable of doing the job, not the man who's going to fall into his lust. He's falling into his lust right now. Right in front of Moses, he's falling into his lust and coming up against the Lord. He's showing his true colors right now. That's why he's not qualified to lead. You understand? Who's not coming up against Moses? Joshua. You understand? That's why he was the next man in line.
Right.
You understand? Because he was willing and able to follow the direction of the Lord under Moses.
Mm-hmm.
That's how it goes, bro. You understand? You want some rank, you want some power, follow the man who's in charge perfectly.
Right.
And don't sit there and think I should be in charge. I should have this. I should have that. Why is everybody raising themselves above me? Are we not all like that whole concept bugs me out. Are we not all holy? Are we not all Yisrael? Are we not all Yisrael?
Smack.
Are we not all Yehudi?
Stop the fight. We not all Yehudi, nigga. Shalom. Mosaic.
Good night. And let me tell you something, man. And I'm gonna, if I could, of course, I'm gonna shout out Captain Katazar, who's been disrespected so often and he's never punched nobody in the face with it. You understand? They disrespect him all the time. He never punched nobody in the face. He always showed brotherhood and restraint and followed the orders. That's the difference. That's the difference.
And it bother him.
Come on.
Like who? Okay, you can't say, well, it don't bother him like it bother me. If he a man just like you,
right?
It of course it would bother him,
right?
But he ain't a bitch, dude.
Right.
He ain't a bitch, and he stood so strong. It's good that you brought that example. Even Sanetta respects him now. Sanetta say, listen, I gotta give it up to my brother because
no choice.
You have no choice to do it because he stick with the shit. You get called it and you smack him. Maybe you are. Maybe that's that's who you are.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's crazy. Salakia. Gotta get into that a little bit. That's it.
I mean, but it ain't like the same thing Captain Collins I learned in here, you can come learn too. That's the funny part. Right. The same discipline he learned, you can come learn too. You don't have to slap somebody every time somebody uses what men's are. I never even heard that. I mean, but
I don't even think that's how you pronounce the Hebrew. Chances are, if the word come out of their mouth,
it's wrong.
That's not even how you pronounce the
shit. Come. I mean, and but you could come learn the same discipline everybody in here learns. We got to all go do it. I mean, and the only way you're gonna get disciplined enough is by when you punch another brother in the face because he called you a word. You're not praised by your leader. You're checked. Yep. You understand? You're not looked at as a hero and celebrated by your leader, your so-called leader.
Right.
You're checked.
Right. Yep. Salakia. In here, you don't even have to punch the brother. Brother will see you thinking you want to punch the brother, and you're going to get checked. That's how deep it is. But they know that's what happens in here. Right. So they don't do it.
Right. So and for the freedom of defending your name, right? You gotta go to somewhere where they'll allow you to punch somebody in the face, and you'll be celebrated by that leader. That's so-called leader.
That's Salakia. But he is the leader.
Okay.
The leader is the one who did it. He started the shit.
Okay.
He started. So
the leader.
who gonna check him? That's the thing. Who gonna check him if that's how he acted?
Right.
Who's gonna check you now?
Good night.
Well, if you in charge and you the great grand poobah, the Lord checked Moses. Now you about to get checked.
Okay. Oh God, I didn't know that. I thought somebody else. So now that means
he started it.
Uh-huh.
And then his men jumped in.
Right.
And he went and rented a vehicle and left.
Wow. Good night.
Left.
Good night. So if you could do that to a brother over words, that means all the crime in Chicago is justified now. As a leader, if you're the leader,
right?
If you're the head,
oh my God,
and you could do that,
that's a good point.
Everything in Chicago is justified now.
That's right.
That's right. I mean? Everything in Southeast, you can't be mad at nobody because they are following the leader. The leader, when he's insulted, he punches people in the face. Mm-hmm. So what should I do as a follower? I do the leader. What did Christ say? You're gonna do things works greater than I. Good night. It don't make no sense. I'm gonna do works greater than you now. I'm gonna put a brother to death. Right. Understand? That's crazy. That is crazy. That's why there's only one truth, and it burns people up inside. But you have to understand it, and you have to get over, fight that demon that's in you, bro. You understand? Fight that demon that's in you. Coming to the school, we're gonna clean you up. We're gonna remove all that lust out your heart. We're gonna move all that hate for your own people out your heart. Right. You understand? And next time a brother disrespect you, you're not gonna look for violence as the first option. You understand? Unless you have to defend yourself. You're not gonna just steal on the brother and then celebrate it afterwards. Right. That's crazy. Right? But Carl's in the same spirit. Go ahead, brother.
All this defiant behavior, this is all what they learned in Egypt. Right?
This is not only what they learned in Egypt, because it has to do with it, but this is who Israel is. Right. Unless they are held in check, they're gonna, Israel's like, for example, they're always competing. If one person has a pair of sneakers, the other one has to get 2 pairs of sneakers. Right. They hate the idea that another black man is over them. You understand? Okay. They hate that idea that the Lord could choose somebody and say, you know what? He's in charge. This is your big brother right now. Everybody follow him. They don't like that. Because now big bro is checking everybody. Go ahead, sir.
And the man that's over them is not somebody they chose. Like if they could choose their leader, it would be fine.
Right.
But because 9 out of 10 times the person who is over you is not somebody you would respect anymore.
Right.
you not respecting that person ever. So that carnality, as you say, is now it's like, damn, that ain't right. So now they have to do something to shake it up.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And now they're coming up against the leader. You understand? And Moses said, tomorrow the Lord's going to decide who's holy, who's not holy. Right? Who's he chose, who he did not chose. Right?
If I could, one more thing too, not to cut across it too much, Salakia, but sure rocking it. But in a way, it is the spirit of Egypt.
Right.
Because remember, in Exodus, it says, after the days of Joseph, the Pharaoh died, and the new Pharaoh did not respect Joseph or his God.
Right.
So it's like it's just like America's society. America glorifies the hero in the movies, the nigga who don't take no shit.
Right.
Who always, fighting back, the one who breaks rank. Right. You watch any military movie, the hero is the one who talking back to the sergeant, who, who guffing up, who, he sticks out, he stands out. That's America. That's Egypt. That's the spirit of everything. To rebel. Rebellion is delicious.
Right.
To a carnal man, it feels good. It feels liberating, and because of that, because it feels like that, it feels like it's the right thing.
Right.
It's like a rush. It's like, I stood up. I told him. Or Eve lives it as a woman. She lives it to the point where it's so delicious. If you're a man or woman, once you start tasting that rebellion and what it feels like, you just do it more and more and more until you rebel against life and you die. That's it. Life, I hate you. You can't tell me when to breathe. No, you're in a coffin. No, you're dead.
Okay, that's so true. Because even like you said in Hollywood, every movie is like he didn't play by the books.
Right.
He followed no man's rules.
Mm-hmm.
There was a comedy I remember when it was just mocking the movies, and he said he followed no man's rules, not even his own.
Listen, that might sound funny if I could. So like, come on, our warrior boy, you killing it out. That might sound funny, but this same cat is on tape talking about how disciplined they are.
Right.
And they don't curse nobody. He forbids them from using obscene language.
Right.
They have protocols. They're trying to be like UPK. But he doesn't obey his own laws because they're hypocrites.
Right.
And again, he doesn't have nobody over him to check him. Like that shit, Bukwashia, where Canada One can't save my life.
Mm-hmm.
That shit is so heavy because it's a blessing to have somebody to be accountable to.
Right.
It's a huge blessing to, damn, I had to make this call and to fear the number calling your phone. That's a goddamn blessing, and people don't understand it because they're rebellious.
Right.
But it's a good thing to have a cap over your head.
Right. And
to be the man who don't have a carnal cap over his head, meaning there's no man on earth who's over him. That position ain't for any man.
Right.
You understand that? It's a special type of dude to be able to listen to the Lord and not feel okay, I could do what I want.
Right.
You know what I mean? So like, I'm done. I'm done for the night. I'm good. I'm done for the night.
That's heavy because Cora's about to find out that he's not that dude also. Cora, we get into it. I didn't forget about Cora.
I didn't forget about Cora. Wasn't you saying you use that nigga with Moses, nigga? I didn't forget about that nigga.
Yeah, right? That's why Moses said at the end, you take too much upon yourself.
Right.
He's turning it back on him. Like, you're out of place. Keep reading.
It's Numbers chapter 16, verse 9. Seemeth it be a small thing unto you that the God of Israel hath separated you from the congregation of Israel to bring you near to himself to do the service of the tabernacle of the Lord.
Again, Korah was a Levite. So that's what Moses is referring to right there. Like, is it a small thing unto you that you have this office? You don't even appreciate what you have. Go ahead.
And to stand before the congregation to minister unto them.
And to be able to have the privilege of ministering or serving the congregation.
Right.
You should look at that as a privilege and should be looking to do better in that. You understand? But instead of focusing on that, you worried about me in my office. Right? Go ahead.
And he hath brought thee near to him, and all thy brethren the sons of Levi with thee.
And if I could, this part is so heavy to me because in the time that they're living in, just coming out of captivity, a Levite priest should be more on his business,
right?
More on serving the people, more on trying to help Moses. You understand? Okay. And trying to follow orders and trying to get these people right because we just came out of captivity. We're in the wilderness. The people are panicking. So a Levite having an office, he got a lot of work to do. But instead of doing the work, what is he doing? He's thinking about Moses' position.
Right.
You understand? He's focused on what Moses is doing instead of his business. Right? That's why Moses said, is it a small thing? Meaning it's nothing to you that you have this office and you got work to do, but you're not doing it.
Right.
You're worried about me. Go ahead.
Okay. The sons of Levi with thee, and seek ye the priesthood also.
And what?
Seek ye the priesthood also.
Read it one more time.
Okay. And he hath brought thee near to him, and all thy brethren, the sons of Levi,
you
with
and
thee.
All the Levites, he has brought you, he has made you special to him. He has given you a special office, special assignment. Right. You and all your brothers, go ahead.
Okay. And seek ye the priesthood also.
And seek ye the priesthood also? You understand? Okay. Do you also want this? That's not enough for you? You also want to be the head priest now.
Right.
Right? Go ahead.
Okay. For which cause both thou and all thy company are gathered together against the Lord.
Read that part again. This is part that every fake Israelite has to understand. When you go and you gather yourself together in these unity camps, right? This is what you do. For which cause? Go ahead.
For which cause both thou and all thy company,
you and your entire host, your entire company, everybody who is with you. What does that mean? Every man, woman, and child that's there with you.
Right.
You understand? You and your entire company. And that's a danger, brothers and sisters. When you go and you join something that is not of the Lord, this is what you're doing here. Keep reading.
Are gathered together against the Lord.
Are gathered together to serve the Lord.
Against the Lord.
To worship the Lord.
Against the Lord.
To praise ye the Lord.
Against the Lord.
You are gathered against the Lord. You are in a mega church, a Christian mega church, clapping and dancing, and you are all gathered against the Lord. You are in the mosque by tunes of thousands, right. Millions. You are gathered against the Lord. You understand? Don't think you're just doing a religious gathering and, well, if I'm wrong, the Lord will correct me later. There's no correction in war.
Right.
You understand? There's no correction in war. If you're gathered against the Lord, that means you're coming up against the Lord for war. The Lord's not going to correct you later. You understand? It's going to judge you. That's what's going to happen.
Right.
I mean, go ahead.
Come. And what is Aaron that ye murmur against him?
And what is Aaron that you murmur against him? I mean, why are you coming up against Aaron? Go ahead.
And Moses sent to call Dathan and Abiram, the sons of Eliab.
Which verse you on?
Verse 12, sir.
Go ahead.
Which said, we will not come up. Is it a small thing that thou hast brought us up out of the hand that floweth with milk and honey?
Now these are some of the Israelites who are also in office who should be serving under Moses.
Right.
Now they hear all this commotion. They started turning on Moses too, which is another danger. You see a group of people come up against the man of the Lord, you jump on the bandwagon. You understand? You jump on the bandwagon and leave your post because you hear some people rebelling outside.
Right.
And these brothers here were supposed to be a servant under Moses. And they said, what? Is it what?
Is it a small thing that thou hast brought us up out of the land that floweth with milk and honey?
Good night. It is a small thing. For anybody who thinks that when America falls, like Israelites are going to be happy. You get a glimpse of it right here. If you want to know what the future holds, read the past. Read it again. And for everybody who has to read a horoscope to know what's happening in the future, you understand? You don't have to read no horoscope. Read the scriptures right here. This is what's going to happen right here. Read it again.
Numbers chapter 16, verse 13. Is it a small thing that thou hast brought us up out of the land that floweth with milk and honey?
Go ahead.
To kill us in the wilderness, except thou make thyself altogether a prince over us.
Is it a small thing that you took us out of Egypt, a land flowing with milk and honey, so that we could die out here, just for the cause of you raising yourself above us as a prince? Good night. These are the people who were fearing for their lives when they was running out of Egypt.
Right.
You understand? These are the people who the Lord spared their children and killed the firstborn of every Egyptian.
Right.
They've seen plague after plague after plague. You understand? They've seen the sea split open. Now they're going to try and tell the man who the Lord chose to do all these things for them this. Right? Keep reading. Go ahead, brother.
Oh. Does the scriptures explain the length of time that they've been out the wilderness to the time they saying this right here? Has it been a long time or has it been a short span of time?
It hasn't been a long time, because the same people that came out of Egypt are these same people. They didn't die off. This is the same generation. You know what I'm saying? These are the same people. So it's not like there's not 500 years, 600 years later. This is like very recent. You know, this is within those 40 years in the wilderness. Right, go ahead.
Brought us into a land that floweth with milk and honey, or given us inheritance of fields and vineyards. Wilt thou put out the eyes of these men?
No, read it again.
Moreover, thou hast not brought us into a land that floweth with milk and honey.
Furthermore, you did not give us what you promised. You told us you're going to take us out of Egypt and bring us to a land flowing with milk and honey. We're not there yet. Right? Go ahead.
Or given us inheritance of fields and vineyards.
And we have not inherited fields and like land. Go ahead.
Wilt thou put out thy eyes of these men? We will not come up.
If you was to blind us, meaning they're basically saying, if you was to torture us, we will not come up and support you. Right? Go ahead.
Verse 15. And Moses was very wroth and said unto the Lord, respect not thou their offering. I have not taken
He
one.
said what?
Respect not thou their offering.
Now this part you have to understand of the power that the priest of the Lord has, the authority the Lord has put on earth. He said what?
Respect not thou their offering.
Do not accept their offerings. Do not accept their prayers. You understand? Do not accept them. If you think the man that the Lord has chosen has no authority over your life, he could speak to the Lord. The Lord will hear him. The Lord will not hear you.
Right.
Keep reading.
I have not taken one ass from them.
I have not collected one thing that does not belong to me from them. I have not stolen from them. Go ahead.
Neither have I hurt one of them.
I have not hurt any of them. Go ahead.
And Moses said unto Korah.
So basically Moses is saying, I don't know why they come up against me. They have turned against me as if I did something to them, when I've done nothing wrong to them.
Right.
Right? Go ahead.
Be thou and all thy company before the Lord, thou and they and Aaron tomorrow.
Go ahead.
And take every man his censer and put incense in them, and bring ye before the Lord every man his censer.
Skip me to verse 19 for the sake of time.
Verse 19. And Korah gathered all the congregation against them unto the door of the tabernacle of the congregation. And the glory of the Lord appeared unto all the congregation.
So Korah and his men, or his congregation, and his unity camp came up exactly where Moses said. And what?
And the glory of the Lord appeared unto all the congregation.
The glory of the Lord appeared unto all the congregation. Go ahead.
And the Lord spake unto Moses.
The Lord spake unto who?
Moses.
Who?
Moses.
The Lord is still speaking to Moses, brother. With all your unity camps, the Lord is still speaking to Moses.
Right.
Right? The Lord spoke to Moses. Go ahead.
And unto Aaron saying, separate yourselves from
come together.
Come. And the Lord spake unto Moses.
Read verse 21.
Separate yourselves.
No. Unity camp.
Separate yourselves.
No. Unity.
Separate yourselves.
UNITY. That's what they don't understand. That's what they don't They want unity.
Right.
The Lord does not want unity, brother.
Right.
This is what the Lord wants. Read it again.
Oh, God. Separate yourselves from among this congregation.
Separate yourself from this congregation, brother. That's what you better do.
You and I, T.
I heard Queen Latifah.
They better not come in front of any UPK come back. I'm having a full meal. I'm going to eat them for lunch, Jack. I'm trying to tell you. Don't come in front no UPK camp today. I'm telling you, giving you a fair warning. I'm going to have a full course meal. Brother. Listen, I'm going to get to play just for the loudspeaker if they come. You and I, T, is our unity.
Good night.
What did the hand say to the fist, Charlie Murphy? I'm done. So like goddamn.
It's absolutely ridiculous. And again, everybody's saying, why does the I.S.U.P.K not go to these unity gatherings? This is why the I.S.U.P.K does not go to these unity gatherings. Read it again.
Oh, God. Separate yourselves from among this congregation.
Go ahead.
That I may consume them.
That I may what?
Consume them.
That I may consume them. Consume them. What does it mean to consume them?
Sorry, if I may basically kill them.
Yeah. What consumes? Fire.
Oh, God.
You understand? Understand? That I may consume them. Keep reading.
Oh, God. In a moment.
The Lord was hot, man. Separate yourself from them, so I may consume them in a moment. I'm about to make them disappear.
Right.
You ever seen a magic trick? I'm about to make them disappear off the face of this earth, right? Keep reading.
Okay.
22. We're almost done.
And they fell upon their faces and said, O God, the God of the spirits of all flesh, shall one man sin, and wilt thou be wroth with all the congregation?
Who's they? Who's the they that's speaking about here? Moses and his men. You understand? Moses and his men, when they heard what the Lord, because the Lord was speaking, not speaking to them.
Right.
The Lord was speaking to Moses. When they heard that, what did they do?
Fell upon their faces.
They fell upon their faces, man. Go ahead.
And said, O God, the God of the spirits of all flesh,
Go ahead.
shall one man sin, and wilt thou be wroth with all the congregation?
The Lord was going to kill the entire congregation. Lord, and Moses was like, please, it's one man's error. It's one man's error. Let them live. That's the type of leader that the Lord chose to put over Israel. Not these lustful bastards. You understand? The Lord chose somebody who's going to rule over Israel, who he knows is going to love Israel enough to pray to him that he does not consume them. You understand? Not somebody who, when they hear 2/3 are going to die, they celebrating. 2/3, I can't wait for you 2/3 to die. That's not who the Lord wants.
Right.
The Lord doesn't want to kill the 2/3. It's not that he wants to.
Right.
So he wants somebody who's going to convince him not to kill him. And that's who Moses is here. Somebody who's going to plead with the Lord and say, do not kill him. You understand? That's the thing that you should be looking for with all your lust. You should be looking for somebody who's going to pray to the Lord that he does not smite you where you stand.
Right.
With all the lust you have, with all the speaking against the men that he has put against you. Imagine this. They're speaking against Moses. Moses is still speaking on behalf of them.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Keep reading.
It's a cool word.
God.
And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, speak unto the congregation, saying, get you up from about the tabernacle of Korah.
So the Lord said, fine. Say this to the congregation. Get you up from what?
Get you up from about the tabernacle of Korah.
Separate yourself from Korah and his house. That's what it means. The tabernacle of Korah is the Korah, his house, his men. If you want to live, separate yourself from these men. These Israelite men. You understand? What were they saying earlier? Are we not all Israelites? Are we not all holy? Why did you raise yourself above us? The Lord is now saying, Israel, if you want to live right now, separate yourself from these men. Keep reading.
From about the tabernacle of Korah, Dathan, and Abiram.
Call him by name. Good night. Imagine the Lord. Imagine the Lord about to put you to death, and he's calling you like, get away from this brother right here.
Right.
Get away from Korah. Good night. I couldn't even imagine it. Right? Go ahead.
Like the Lord is a gangster. Yeah.
Good night.
Like you watch any gangster movie, if you don't want you to die, he's like, yo, make sure you're not on that block tonight.
Good night.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Get out of that house so and so. Yeah, I'm sending some of them over there. Make sure you're not there.
Right. Because if you get found there,
if you're there, you're there.
That means you want to be there.
Yeah.
Right? Go ahead.
Okay. Verse 25. And Moses rose up and went unto Dathan, and Abiram and the elders of Israel followed him. And he spake unto the congregation, saying, Depart, I pray you, from the tents of these wicked men.
From who?
From the tents of these wicked men.
Depart, I pray you, from the tents of these wicked men. Again, these are Israelites. These are Israelites who know who they are. They know who their father is. They know their bloodline. They know they're special people above all people. But this is what Moses said about them. Read it again.
Okay. Then he spake unto the congregation, saying, Depart, I pray you, from the tents of these wicked men.
From the tents of these wicked men. Let me tell you something, man. Wrapping your head does not make you righteous.
Right.
Knowing who you are does not make you in the truth. Fringes and beards and whatever else you think is a covering is not the covering of the Lord.
Right.
You understand? That's not what makes you in the truth. You have to follow the man. Their problem is they're not following who the Lord said to follow.
That's right.
That's always going to be a problem.
So like, yeah.
Go ahead.
I probably shouldn't say it.
Now I want to hear it.
Like any bad son, when they mess up, they call the UPK.
Come on.
They call the UPK about this.
Right.
That's how I know so much. Right. So that's a lot here.
Good night.
But when the shit hit the fan, they know who to follow.
And that's
but when it's time to frolic and have fun, they're doing whatever they want. But when the shit hit the fan, they make a phone call, man, this is what happened. So and so, yeah, and so and so and so. And so and so. And they ain't gonna call, they ain't gonna make it seem like it's for help. But that's what the hell is for. Because why are you calling me for? What make you think I care about who you slack? That's your problem.
Right.
But you're checking in. You're reporting in now because it's hot. It's like a child who in the streets and can't come home, the parents and kick them out, but they in jail. Guess who they call? They call Pop.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Good night. That's crazy.
How you say? Moving on. Okay, you're good.
That reminds me of that scripture that says, on that day the sun shall not give its light. You understand?
That's it.
There's gonna be a day when you're gonna try to call, and there'll be no answer.
No answer. Yep.
You understand? When you call right now, you should be repenting and coming into the school, man.
Right.
You understand? And I pray brothers repent. You know, I pray to repent because the reason I'm saying that because we're about to read what happens to brothers who don't repent right now, and this is not what we want necessarily for anybody. You understand? Keep reading.
Okay. Depart, I pray you, from the tents of these wicked men.
Go ahead.
And touch nothing of theirs.
Touch nothing of theirs. Go ahead.
Lest ye be consumed in all their sins.
Lest what? Lest ye be consumed
in all their sins.
In all their sins. What's their sin? What's all their sins? Go ahead.
They already shown they want to be over top of Moses.
Mm-hmm.
They want to be over top of the whole congregation.
Mm-hmm.
They want to fulfill their lust.
Here's your sin. Coming up against the man the Lord has established to rule over them.
Right.
That is the vile sin that they're doing right now. This is the sin that has the Lord hot right now. Coming up against the man the Lord has chosen. Because what did we read earlier? What did we read earlier about Aaron and Moses' relationship? Moses would be as unto God to Aaron.
Okay.
Meaning what? He represents God.
Okay.
Moses represents God to all these people. You understand? So his word is God's word. So to come up against him is to come up against who?
The Most High.
Most High. You challenge the Most High now. You understand? You're challenging the Most High. Now let's find out what happened. Keep reading.
Okay. So they got up from the tabernacle of Korah, Dathan, and Abiram.
So the people started separating themselves now. And the people started to see it's real now. All the people who was in, and let me tell you what your brothers and sisters said. All your followers And this is just how it happens. It happened here. It's going to happen to you. All your followers, when it's going down, everybody's going to separate themselves from you. When they see the Lord come to judge, they know where the truth is at. They're not going to bet on you. You know what I'm saying? You're going to look for your followers. Everybody's going to scatter. And you're going to be sitting there in the center looking stupid. Right? Go ahead.
Okay. So they get up from the tabernacle of Korah, Dathan, and Abiram on every side. And Dathan and Abiram came out and stood in the door of their tents, and their wives, and their sons, and their little children.
Go ahead.
And Moses said, hereby ye shall...
And read that last part again, just so you understand. When you are in fake Israelite groups and you think, you know, this sin is yours and yours alone. Who came out of the tents?
Dathan and Abiram came out and stood in the door of their tents, and their wives, and their sons, and their little children.
Their wives, their sons, and their little children. Go ahead.
And Moses said, hereby ye shall know that the Lord hath sent me to do all these works.
This is how you're gonna know I'm the chosen of the Lord, not you. Right. This is how you're gonna find out who's holy and who's not holy. You about to learn today. Go ahead.
And Moses said, hereby ye shall know that the Lord hath sent me to do all these works. For I have not done them of my own mind.
Go ahead.
If these men die the common death of all men.
What's the common death of all men? Go ahead.
Just say.
No. If they die the way everybody else dies, if they die normally, if they die in their beds, or if they die of sickness, or if they die of old age, or if they die because, you know, they got sick, right? That's the death of all men. If these men die the way every man died, go ahead.
Or if they be visited after the visitation of all men.
If they be visited after the visitation of all men, meaning they're judged just like everybody else is judged, right? Go ahead.
Then the Lord have not sent
If
me.
they die normally, like the way that an average person would die, the Lord didn't send me. Go ahead.
Okay. Verse 30. But if the Lord make a new thing.
But if you see something that you've never seen before, right? If the Lord make a new thing, if something happens that you have never witnessed, go ahead.
And the earth opened her mouth.
And the earth literally opens its mouth. Go ahead.
And swallow them up.
Mm-hmm.
With all that appertain unto them.
Mm-hmm.
And they go down quick into the pit.
They go down quick into the pit. Go ahead.
Then ye shall understand.
On that day, you're going to understand
that these men have provoked the Lord.
No, these men have provoked Moses.
Provoked the Lord.
No, these men have provoked Commander General YAHANNA.
The Lord.
These men have provoked the Lord. Keep reading.
Okay. And it came to pass, as he had made an end of speaking all these words.
As soon as he finished speaking these words, go ahead.
That the ground clave asunder that was under them.
The ground what?
The ground clave asunder.
What does it mean to clave asunder? Ground collapsed. You understand? Okay. That was under them. Go ahead.
And the earth opened her mouth and swallowed them up.
That's not a normal death, bro. Okay. That's not a death that's normal to men. And the whole congregation had to see that. The whole congregation has to see that. So my question to all these unity groups is this: what's going to happen? What's going to have to happen to you and your family before you realize what the truth is?
Right.
What has to? It's such a selfish thing. You understand? This is not just the man who was challenging Moses. This is him, his family, his whole household, all his supporters.
Right.
Wife, woman, children, everybody. What has to happen to you before you stop coming up against the Lord? Keep reading. Let's finish it off.
Okay. And the earth opened her mouth and swallowed them up and their houses.
And who?
And their houses.
Go ahead.
And all the men that
when it says all their houses, what is he talking about? Go ahead.
It's like if I make meaning all their families.
Their families. You understand? All their families went into the ground that day. The Lord killed everybody.
Right.
You understand? Because they came up against the Lord. Now, when you go and you start these Christian groups, these Israelite groups, and you come up against the Lord, you don't love your family, man. You don't love your family. Don't ever tell your wife or your children, I love you, and hand them a piece of ham.
Right.
Because the Lord is taking everybody under.
Right.
Right? Go ahead.
Okay. And all the men that appertain unto Korah and all their goods,
Mm-hmm.
they and all that appertain to them went down alive into the pit.
All of them went down to the pit. All the supporters, all those who would listen to him, all those who would support him. Go ahead.
And the earth closed upon them, and they perished from among the congregation.
Go ahead.
And
34.
all
Mm-hmm.
and all Israel that were round about them fled at the very fled at the cry of them. For they said, lest the earth swallow us up also.
That's the extent the Lord has to go to show you who he's with. You don't want to listen, you just want to see.
Right.
And when you see it, you want to run now.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's easy to just listen. Right? Keep reading.
And there came out a fire from the Lord
Mm-hmm.
and consumed it.
So you think that, okay, he got the men he wanted, that was it. You know what I'm saying? You done got the Lord goes from 0 to 100. You understand? You thought he was gonna go from 0 to 50, and that's it. He made his point. Everybody went into the pit. What happened next?
Verse 35. And there came out a fire from the Lord and consumed the 250 men that offered incense. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying,
And a fire came down and consumed how many men?
250
Go ahead.
that offered incense.
Those are the people who were on Korah's side. They're offering incense on his side. You understand? We pass our time.
No. Just get to the part where
Oh God, I was trying to. Okay.
there's a part where they left their stuff, right? Their
Uh,
sensors or something like that.
Keep reading.
Okay.
Come on, sir.
Verse 37. Speak unto Eleazar, the son of Aaron, the priest, that he take up the censers out of the burning and scatter thou the fire yonder, for they are hollow. The censers of these sinners against their own souls.
Mm-hmm.
Let them make them broad plates for a covering of the altar.
For what?
A broad plate for the covering of the altar.
Right. They're gonna put those senses to use, bro. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna disappear off the earth, but the senses will be put to use. All right, go ahead.
For they offered them before the Lord. Therefore, they are hallowed, and they shall be a sign unto the children of Israel.
Go ahead.
And Eleazar, the priest, took the brazen censers, wherewith.
And that's such a heavy point too. We have to understand that certain things will happen to you as a sign to the children of Israel. Meaning that when they read the story and hear what happened at the unity camp, they'll say, we better never join the unity camp.
Yep. They're supposed to. At least they're supposed to say that.
Oh, God. Come on, sir. Go ahead.
Okay. Wherewith they that were burnt had offered, and they were made broad plates for a covering of the altar, to be a memorial unto the children of Israel, that no stranger which is not of the seed of Aaron come near to offer incense before the Lord.
Okay, is that what you're looking for, sir?
Yeah. I don't know if you'll go ahead and break it down or you're good.
No,
You could break it down?
last.
Okay, the censers, just imagine like the incense, like the holders, just big nice ones. That they're supposed to be the sons of Aaron. They're coming up against Moses, but they have these holy things. The Lord killed them and saved that. I said that belongs to the Lord. That's hallowed. That's the holy thing.
Right.
So, in other words, like in today, your boots mean more to the Lord than you.
Good night.
You understand? Your garment, your headpiece, your belt, your precepts, that the Lord will kill you and save that. That means more to the Lord than you.
Good night.
That's what the Lord was telling them. He said, listen, Eliezer, go through and pick up those hallowed censers. Those are holy things. And they're going to be up in here for everybody to see. Oh, this is a nice thing. We said he made a cover for the altar. Yeah, this is a nice cover. Where y'all get this? Oh, the Lord killed 250 men and took the censer.
Good night.
Now you know who you deal with.
Right.
That's who you deal with. That's who you deal with. You know what I mean? That's the law. Those are the holy things. That's why I hear that Hebrew Academy cover is so.
Right.
And say, you want to leave? No problem.
Okay.
Bring it here.
Okay.
That cover is holy.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's why it's so important who gets it.
Right.
And get the point. I wanted to get that part because it ain't just killing them and that's that. It's like, oh, that's cool, but this thing here that I done gave to you because you was in the priesthood, I'm gonna need that back.
Good night.
You go ahead and die, but give me back that holy thing. That belongs to me. If they wasn't in it, they would have never gotten that.
Right.
You can't leave out of here with that shit. Bring me my work back. Smokey, is either you have my money or you have my weed. But you ain't leaving with it all.
That's crazy. That's a heavy point. I never understood that.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Twice.
That's the Lord saying, no, nigga. You could die, but give me that shit before you go.
Good night. With that,
Salah.
we'll pass the class over to Trooper on logic.
Yeah. Stop on the podium right there.
We are the I.S.U.P.K. out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commanding General YAHANNA. New rules for brothers and sisters. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to shake themselves of the world. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or a sister. There is another 6 months in which the brother or sister will court each other. After this 6-month period, the brother or sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment. You can find this in Numbers 18:21 and Malachi 3:8 through 10. Means 10th in Hebrew and is pronounced I.S.U.P.K. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you, give to the Treasury Department or teacher. Priest fund, free will and offering for priests, not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you would like to give. Upcoming holy convocation. Remind Akim and Agwathium to check on social media such as ISUPK.com.
Upcoming holy convocation December 9th.
Right.
Right here in DC, we'll be holding her Hanukkah. Right here in DC. So December 9th, after sundown. So definitely come through and you know and bring your goodie things to the Lord.
That's right. That's right.
Go ahead.
Such as ISUPK.com, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and so on for ISUPK events and materials. If a brother wants to be a trooper in the school, you should start wearing all black, which includes black boots.
Listen to this closely, Unity Camp. Read that part again.
If a brother wants to be a trooper in the school, you start wearing all black,
right,
which includes black boots, black shirts, black pants, black headband or scarf.
Right.
And with that, say a mighty, which means to stand. But we're gonna do one courtesy salute. We're gonna do one courtesy salute to the teacher.
Men of Israel.
Men of Israel. Amijah Shabbat. Amijah. Barak. Yahweh Shem Yahweh Rakatah.
Yahweh Shem Yahweh Rakatah.
And with that,
Yazimata.
Yazimata, class dismissed.